Hello everyone, my name is Patricia and welcome back to my channel. Today is Tester Tuesday and this is our 5th edition. So what I like to do is review scents from a giant tester box, and each week the viewers vote on what 2 scents they want to see me review. So the interesting thing is you're going to notice my box is missing, and that's because there's a twist coming to Tester Tuesday. Stay tuned towards the end of the video, you will see what it is. It involves the new release scents from the fall and winter Scentsy catalog. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that voted. We had lots of votes this week, the most again as the trend's been going, and we've had a lot of new people voting, so I really appreciate that. If you need to vote and you do not have a YouTube account, you can set one up, or you can always send me an Instagram message and I can get your vote that way. I will put my Instagram name down in the comments box below, the description box below. Okay, so we had a fall push this week. We had a few people voting for some of the fall scents, but they were just edged out just a tiny bit by some spring and summer kind of fresh, more traditional scents for this time of year. So the top vote went this week to Jungle Jam, which is actually no longer available. And the second vote went to Just Breathe. So let's start with Jungle Jam. So Jungle Jam was a kid's scent, and it was only available for 2 catalog seasons. It came out in the spring of summer of 2016, and then it was also in the fall and winter catalog of the same year, and now it's discontinued. So you can no longer get this scent. So we're not going to, talk a long time about it, but I'm going to read you the scent description. It's a bit of a long one. So it's set off on a jungle adventure surrounded by candied pear, ripe pineapple, fresh picked strawberry, and even a delightful dollop of whipped cream just for fun. So for Jungle Jam, it was a lemon lime green color, kind of like on the back here. And I had one party tester only, so I warmed this downstairs in my mudroom, laundry room area, which has a mini warmer. I think it's called Silver Vine. It gets pretty hot. I would describe this as a fruity scent. And what I picked up on the most, it's a bit tangy. What I picked up on the most was pear and pineapple, and I've had trouble with pineapple, but this one I really enjoyed. I didn't really smell a lot of strawberry, and I didn't really smell any dollop of whipped cream, and I'm just wondering if maybe that was like in the background kind of rounding it out. But if you took something like Havana Cabana and mixed it with skinny dipping, I think you might come up with something somewhat close. So that would be worth giving it a try. So I really love this scent. The scent peel for me on cold and warm would be about 7.5. Doesn't really change a lot from cold to warm. Now, the strength and throw is what kind of went downhill on this scent for me. Starting out, I'd say the strength was about a 6, the strength and throw. And for maybe just a few hours, it was 6, then it started to go downhill. After, maybe 6 to 8 hours, it was about a 3. At about the 12-hour mark, I turned it off, and then I decided to revisit it. I put it on for another 3 hours. It was just very faint, so I decided to call it, and I took it out of the warmer. So if this was still available, it would not be a repurchase. If I could bump the intensity up and make it last a little bit longer, it would be a definite repurchase. So let's move on to Just Breathe. So Just Breathe, I had 3 parties and 3 minis, and there's something special about Just Breathe, and this one's going to take a little longer. I will explain as I go. Okay, Just Breathe was a scent of a month from August 2011, which was 7 years ago. It is currently available. It is in the classic section of the catalog, and it is very popular. There's 2 people that I know in my area that buy it quite a bit from me. So let's read the scent description. Basically, it is breathe deeply as soothing eucalyptus, zesty lemon, and a medley of mints comfort and rejuvenate. Now, there is a video that Scentsy put out when this became scent of the month, and it's a lady, sitting in a field, lots of grass and kind of look like hay. She's doing yoga and she's doing different poses, and the first thing I thought was, I hope she doesn't have allergies because she's going to be in trouble. But what I kind of think maybe is Scentsy does not market Just Breathe to alleviate allergies or help with congestion, things like that, but I think a lot of people use this scent for that purpose, and that's kind of the vibe I get from the community. So For me, when I walked into the room, I really enjoyed the scent. I would say a scent appeal on cold was about 7 and warm. And the strength, it kind of had 2 parts. So let me just back up a second. So let's talk about how I divvied up the testers. One I put here and the rest I put downstairs in my son's room. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the color. So one party and one mini of Just Breathe looked a little bit different than the rest. Most of the Just Breathes had a very light mint green color, but some of them had like an off-white kind of yellow tinge to it. And the wax just looked slightly different. So those 2 testers I've kind of put aside. Okay, one of the normal testers I put in this room. I would say I had it in for 22 hours. I would say the first maybe 11 or 12 hours, it was probably like an 8 out of 10 for strength and throw. And then the last, 11 hours or so, it was probably dropped down to about 5 out of 10. But it was very enjoyable. I could definitely smell eucalyptus. I could smell mints. I could also smell a little bit of lemon. It did not have the same wow effect that marshmallow mint had for me, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. So let's go downstairs and talk about what happened there. So I put the 2 discolored testers that had a slightly different smell as well, just slightly different, not as nice. So I put those in a 25-watt bulb warmer, and the rest I kind of divvied up in my son's bathroom. And the reason I put, I split them up is sometimes with that many testers I would put it in my open concept space, but I wasn't sure this scent was strong enough that it would carry in my space, and I didn't want to lose all my testers and not have anything to talk to you about because I don't have any of Just Breathe in my Scentsy cupboard there. So, okay. So down there, I would say the strength and throw was slightly less. I would say maybe 7 out of 10. I kept it in for about 20 hours instead of 22. It kind of did the same thing for the first, half of the time. It was like about a 7 out of 10. Then it went down to about maybe a 4 out of 10. And I think what happens is that room is quite a bit bigger than this room, so you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so the problems happened with this scent when I went to take it out of the warmer. So let's just we'll talk about the normal minty green testers first. They just came out of the warmer very normally. I just, removed some residue. That was it. So the ones that were slightly yellow tinged, they had a very strange consistency. I went to remove it out of the warmer and it was almost like leather, and it was like very tough and tearing. And what happens is I like to leave my wax and kind of remove it when it's in that semi-soft, almost like Play-Doh stage. I just scoop it out that way, and it's a really convenient way to do it. But there was problems when I went to take this one out, and then once I got it out, there was a lot of caked on residue in the bottom. Now, some scents that you buy will leave a discoloration in your bottom of your warmer, even almost like a slippery film, like a brownish film, almost like the waxes, the oils maybe cook a little bit. I'm not sure. Something weird happened with the Just Breathe one. It was caked on crud in the bottom, and it wasn't really brown. It was almost like a hard yellow substance. And the other thing is, the reason I took Just Breathe out of the warmers, it still had a little bit of scent, but the scent had changed so much. It was almost like a tree sap scent. And kind of when I looked in the bottom, I felt like it almost looked like tree sap. So I was going to have to try to get this out of the warmer, this stuff. And I'm going to insert a quick video here of what the warmer looked like, the warmer dish. Okay, so I think you could see what the warmer dish looked like. I spent a lot of time getting that stuff off. I tried counter clean. No. I tried counter clean letting it soak. No. I tried a magic eraser. It just basically killed my magic eraser. It was like gravel to my magic eraser. It wasn't even budging. So I basically kept using soap and water, a lot of Dawn soap, and just taking my finger and kind of scrubbing it to the point where my fingernails were yellow and I looked like a 2-pack-a-day smoker. It was really gross. It was super, super hard and caked on and stubborn. And then almost like once you scraped a little bit off, it was like tree sap, like sticky consistency. So my fingers were sticking to everything. I couldn't get the stuff off. It was a disaster. And I thought about it and I was thinking I was going to throw my warmer dish out, but I didn't. I stuck with it. I finally got it clean. Like I said, it took me about, I'd say 10 minutes to get it clean. So I'm just wondering if years ago maybe there was a slightly different formula of Just Breathe, and then maybe there were some issues like what I had. If you've ever had anything like this happen to you, please comment below. The other thing I wondered is maybe the testers were exposed to light, or maybe I hope no one would ever give me warmed testers. I mean, they still performed perfectly fine, so in terms of scent delivery, so I think they were okay there, but they were definitely different. And yeah, so I'm not really sure, but I did really enjoy the scent. It would be a repurchase for me. I would probably just do a 1 bar only repurchase. It's not something that I would stockpile. So I think that pretty much sums up Just Breathe. So what we're going to do is just spend a few extra minutes talking about the twist of Tester Tuesday. So as I told you, I do not have my box, but I have my little bag here today. And you're wondering, am I going to be discussing La Habana collection? No, I'm not. But what I decided to do is, instead of doing my regular testers for Tester Tuesday, for the next 6 weeks we're going to do a warming of the new release and the new kids scent and the 8 Disney scents from the fall and winter catalog that are coming in. So they come in September 1st. Just keep that in mind. They're not available until September 1st, but I want to get a jump start on it because it's going to take 6 weeks to get them all warmed, and I don't want to be doing it forever. So what I usually do when a new catalog comes out, I mean, I've only been a consultant for 6 months, but what I did the last time is I ordered an extra transition set, and from that I warmed everything in the transition set, and I decided what bars I liked enough to order for my own personal stash. And in doing so, I reviewed a lot of the scents for you guys, and if you're interested, you can check out those videos from 6 months ago. But I didn't really want to do that this time around because I would be doing Tester Tuesday and the reviews. There'd be a lot going on. It gets pretty complicated when you're trying to review scents. You can't just put the scent in and walk away. You have to kind of pay attention. Otherwise, your review is not a very good review. And as it stands, our reviews are mostly just for fun, but I do want you to get some benefit out of them, so I don't want them to be a total bust. So I decided to merge Tester Tuesday with the reviews, and there's going to be a couple little differences. So I am still going to draw 6 scents to vote from each week. Nothing changes there. You guys are still going to vote for just 2 scents each week, please. Nothing changes there. One change will be I usually would check on Thursday morning to tally the votes, but now I'm going to be checking Wednesday morning. So basically you're going to have only Tuesday to vote. I'm going to be checking Wednesday morning. The reason I have to check one day early is because I'm off Wednesdays and I need an extra warming day, because instead of warming 2 scents per week, we're going to warm 4. So whatever the top 4 votes are each week, I'm going to warm those. And the only difference is I'm going to check earlier, and you guys are still going to vote for 2 scents. There's 24 total scents in this bag, so that will make up for the 6 weeks. Well, what I'm going to do is the 2 scents each week that don't make the cut, I'm going to kind of save those to the end, and then we'll kind of go from there. And it's going to be interesting to see what people are really interested in having me review first. We're going to kind of see what's more popular. It kind of reminds me of when you have a sports team and you have people on 2 captains, and you choose teams, and there's going to be some left at the end, and I'm going to kind of feel bad for those scents, but at least we'll kind of see which ones people want to hear about. So let's get drawing. I've babbled and babbled, and we better get drawing because otherwise the video is going to be too long. Okay, the first choice we have is Perfect Peppermint. Next is Love and Kisses Minnie from the Disney collection. Autumn Hearth. Grandma's Orchard. Lavender Cotton. And the last one, Farmhouse Fir. So again, we have Perfect Peppermint, Love and Kisses Minnie, Autumn Hearth, Grandma's Orchard, Lavender Cotton, and Farmhouse Fir. 2 votes each. Comment below or send me an Instagram message. It's going to be listed in the description box, and I will check back Wednesday morning and I will get warming those scents for you, and I will see you back next Tuesday with the first 4 scents from the Fall and Winter new release and Disney collection. Take care. I will see you in the next video, and don't forget to vote.